Hello everyone, it is Ishtar of Raw, and it is still 8:26:26, 8:88. Okay, anyway, that's how I look at it anyway. Okay, we're gonna leave out that other two. I just thought about it. But anyway, it don't matter. We gonna keep it at the 8:88. That's how I see it. Now, fellow Americans, the beautiful hues of colors, and the Caucasians, I just want to say, I want to understand, how is it someone can purpose in their heart and mind and take over a people? I'm talking about enslavement, because we know it went on, because Philadelphia, it was said that it was the first capital when y'all did the first selling of the Negroes. Was it the 1930s? Oh, well, it's 2026, 1930s. That's really not that far from 2026, but you know, not but. This is what I imagine is going on in some people's minds that's Caucasian. They're like, okay, our forefathers did this to these people. Now, some of you know about it. Some of you know how you gain wealth. And now people talking about it a little bit more, and you're like, hell to no, I want to give up how I live, what I got. Well, then can you tell your constituents to go in the Federal Reserve and go ahead and cut that motherload check? Go ahead and do a census. You might want to skip my family and them, because they might put more people on there than usual, because they need to be investigated by the FBI, because they like to lie and defraud the government. See, I don't want to defraud anybody, but I most certainly don't like to be defrauded from anything that belongs to me either. Now, I know that there are different nationalities. However, there is one particular nationality that really truly believe that there's no other nationality that's better or greater than you. Now, if we go back into history and we look at how you established to be on top, you had to capture some people and brutally beat them, rob them of their mind, their way of living. And then when you freed them, they still had their children, or they procreated again and they had children. You didn't offer them any mental help, like you want to throw out, oh, we have mental help for you if you're on drugs now, if you're on substance. But you didn't offer that to the slaves. No, the free slaves. No kind of compensation to get them on the right track. You even have the audacity to give out service animals now to people who acting like they crazy. They probably acting like they crazy because the ancestors that was murdered, they probably whipping some of y'all descendants or offsprings ASS's, probably. Because, you know, I mean, I don't see how, if you living, you know, normal, and you ain't doing none of that substance that was intentionally put on the streets for people to be high and out their mind so the government can so they can rob people blind. Because that's what you're doing. That banking system, you make 2% of your dollar, 5% of your dollar. No, just match what I got in there. That would add it up. That would definitely give me an increase. Hallelujah. Okay, don't give me no 2%, 5%. No. Because some of that don't give you little to nothing on your dollar. Okay, anywho, but you have the audacity to make, what is that, 401k? With a company match your money. That's what y'all need to do. Okay. Anywho, I'm telling you right now, I know it's a mess when I think about what my ancestors had to endure, and then when they got free, and then in Arkansas when they had Black Wall Street, like Atlanta would be okay, but y'all be wilding out, conforming to the things that you ought not be conforming to, and some of y'all just act. Anywho, and I know I'm talking in a manner that I'm just, you know, trying to smooth it on out from the mouth so it won't be so people won't so I won't, you know, it won't be so rough when you hear it. I'm considering your feelings, although if you think about my ancestors, while they was in their tribes or in their home, and all of a sudden somebody just came up in there like Vladimir Putin and said, you coming with us and you gonna be in chains and chow. And then from that day on, it's just been rough for people that look like me. And I know y'all gonna say, well, we got Oprah. How many other black people is it besides Oprah? And did you correct the wrong? I mean, they say in the movie, in Rosewood, right? I'm trying to think, is Rosewood the same as Black Wall Street? Anyway, in Rosewood, there was a white man who helped some of the Negroes get on the train to escape. I applaud him. Hallelujah. Because it would have been like all of them would have D-I-E-D. And, anyway, I guess I get a little bit offended by y'all say y'all don't want to talk about it in the schools. You want to conceal that. You want to redact what truly happened so you don't have to go in the Federal Reserve like you do everything else when you give bailouts to businesses and give back to the black community where we can get on our feet. And we ain't talking about no other ethnicity. We talking about black, niggers, or Negro, whichever one you want to call. Okay? It's time for y'all to make right what was done wrong. Period. And I know you say, well, them ancestors ain't even here. Some of them still are here, because 1930 ain't that, is far, but it ain't that far. And then let's go back to the 1800s. That's far, but still, nevertheless, the enslavement happened. And when other people can come over here, have a crisis in their country, and get incentives, they get food stamps, they get a check, no problem. They even get a place to stay. And the government of the United States will help them out. But nobody has extended that olive branch to the black folk. And then after 2020, C-19, rent and houses just tripled because somebody greedy. Somebody want to line up their bank account. I don't know what you want to line up your bank account for. I'm trying to figure out why everybody want to harm the laymen, the regular folk, the common folk, then put drugs on the street, have places where you can buy liquor everywhere, then have the audacity to have homeless people, but it's more substance abuse resources than homeless care. So in essence, the government, once they put you homeless, they want you to get on substance, because that will then control your mind. And you will allow anything, and you would think that any gesture of kindness is good, and not all gestures of kindness works out for the greater good of human beings. And especially with the Lovings, that really wasn't that far back, when people were like, you can't marry in our tribe. Okay. But I'm telling you, what's funny is, we can't, y'all say we can't marry, and when our ancestors was locked up under your rule, some of them had to take care of your children. I don't know what the heck the Caucasian ladies was doing. Why the black woman had to be the auntie mama. What was y'all? What was they doing back then? I don't know. Probably sleeping with the black man, like their husband was sleeping with the black woman and the black man. And the wife probably was doing the same thing too. Who knows? Because they was held captive, and whatever the person say do, they had to do. How cruel and insane is that? And I know y'all say it's not happening like that now, but racism is still very prevalent. That's why you still have people of color, when they go purchase a house or purchase anything, they get overcharged, or they don't get told the proper way to save, and why rich people get to save taxes, and the mediocre or the medium income family have to pay so much taxes and raise a family. But some people are happy if they're left alone, that is. But in the United States of America, anything can pop off at any minute, because there's so many people wanting to control things, that way back when the Indians, they were getting their water and taking care of their bodies, and it wasn't no go to the government state and pay for the water. It wasn't none of that. When all that came about, all this chaos and turmoil, competition, everybody want to line their pockets. Oh, I can see a way to make money this way. So we got to make them buy this license in order to go fishing. in a ocean that don't belong to nobody. You gotta have a fishing license. In a lake that must not be on nobody's property, because you can go there, or would say private property, but you gotta have a fishing license. They just make up jobs to get their money in their pocket, line it up, and we have some blacks in wildlife and park ranger and stuff, or other ethnicities, but it seemed like jobs was just created to just make an upheaval of things that those people were getting naturally. They were taking care of their families. They were more loving. Of course, there probably were arguments, but it was nothing like we see now, because there wasn't no crack, no heroin, no cocaine, no fentanyl. There wasn't none of that. Way back when. Now, it probably was some fooling around, the wandering eye, maybe, I don't know. But I believe people had a little bit more morale about them, and they wasn't immoral. So immoral. And I think about my situation, how I went to the top chief of law enforcement, attorney general, and I'm still waiting on justice. But in their mind, they say, oh, you can continue to wait, because we have to put the three identical strangers on TV. We have to publicize them, because we have to get them money, put money back in our white community. We have to publicize Casey Anthony, in my opinion, a little girl who was she 1 or 2 or 3? I mean, what happened to her? Somebody in their house did something. So, I mean, you have courts about any old stupid bull crap, and you let it go on and on and on about stupid stuff, like the Lovings. Wasted. You antagonize and demoralize that black woman as if she's nasty and undeserving, and you took her and her children through horror. I say her and her children because somewhere along the line, I believe Richard said, oh, this is too much for me, I'm going back on the other side. And in the documentary, Ms. Loving stayed in the jail longer than him. And I don't know what happened to that lady, what kind of torture, but I remember her saying one time, one of the jailers say, I should let this man go in there into her. So was she raped? Was she traumatized in there? Or even the mere fact for her to hear him say that, it will be hard for somebody to go to sleep with somebody with thoughts like that. You in a jail, and the employee threatening you to do something to you unethical, and you can't do nothing about it, like the slaves back then, who also had children. They had children, and somewhere along the line, I, who am black, and the other blacks belong to that generation of hurt, pain, disgust, disappointment, because it's very disappointing to know that our government, where my situation is very real, I'm being stalked, no doubt about it, by people that look like me and people who don't look like me. And it's like the law enforcement, the corrupt ones, they want to ignore this and focus in on P. Diddy because they got him locked up. They got R. Kelly locked up. Then they had Epstein locked up and let him out and pretended he was deceased. And as I say that, I believe one of these people, it's so many schemes and fraud going on. Did they have a funeral for little Kaylee? Because Epstein alive. If in my right mind, I believe even Sandra Bland is still alive. I believe Kaylee is still alive. My name might be Chloe. And then of course we have Jennifer Kelsey. She might be under another whole name and had a little face adjustment. I believe she somewhere too, because I went and checked, it's so much scamming and defrauding going on, and people saying that they deceased, but they not. And the courts are allowing this kind of activity to go on because people are lining their pockets with payouts from institutions. Like you saying to yourself, this poor woman or poor family, I can't even afford life insurance for my loved ones if something should happen. But these people getting life insurance policies and then acting like they deceased, getting paid. They go get something done to their face or body. They living somewhere else. Now, when the late great Malcolm X said that, his teaching under Islam, and he said it would be best that we separate and let us have our community like you got little China, little you have little Haiti in different cities and stuff, communities. But the black people need their own state, their own country, or their own land. I say that because when some of y'all ancestors went into Black Wall Street and other places and started a riot and just tore down the achievements of the black people and made them have to come back and integrate. See how that is? How they was just thriving, but you made them come back into your system because you don't want somebody to, jealousy, envy. Why do you not want the black man to leave from among you? I'm going to ask that question again. Malcolm X asked it. Some others asked it too. Why is it that we cannot have our own? Just our own. Our own. because you are using us and you are manipulating and you are controlling and conniving. You waste taxpayers dollars. You have us focus on news that you want to present to us, that when I thought that my son in 2007 was missing and I needed the news to get this out so somebody could be helping me look, and then, oh, I guess y'all gonna say, well, ooh, what is that group that came? It was a group of people that came, to an organization that helped people look for missing persons. I can't think of the group name. They did come, but it's not like it going over the news so other people can get involved and see what's going on, because y'all did that because you knew you convinced my 18-year-old son to commit fraud with you all by putting life insurance policies on him, and all of y'all got a payout on that. And so when I'm asking for help, I can't get it because some of you politicians, you're dirty. Attorney General, you must be got a slave trade going on behind the scenes. You got a little black book. Oh, Jennifer Peake is my slave, and I'm not giving her shit. I'm not giving her justice. Well, BITCH, I'm getting my justice. Okay? And yeah, that kind of bull crap is going on. Right. And so you want to bring on the news things that you think we want to see. And then it be fake. It be fraud. And then you have token, you let black people get into this fraud just in case things go awry. To say, no, we broadcast about black murders and stuff. But real situations like mine, you want to ignore it. Because your hands is dirty, because you are the new slave master behind the scenes, orchestrating things, flying in the sky and stuff, and spraying stuff up above me and stuff like that. All I'm saying, people, is in biology, or was it science, where you're dissecting that frog, when you're looking at the news. Oh, and then the other thing, the series, How to Get Away with Murder, I look at that as you all were secretly letting your thugs that you have on your payroll, you slave masters, slave owners behind the scenes, you brought that on so you can give them ideas on how to get away with the things that you got away with. So see now that How to Get Away with Murder is not, I don't think they're actively running that series anymore, but it probably still does play. But things like Undercover Boss, you took that away, because child, 2020 was coming. C-19, we gotta have these people get these documents, get into people's business while you working from home, see who has what, so we can knock them off, make sure they get C-19 and take all they ish. Yeah, that's what this government is doing now. That's how they getting rich. And other people that you see in the neighborhood too, how they getting little payouts. You see somebody with a car and you like, how the hell he get a car? He was just a drug addict last week. That part. They getting paid to sabotage their own freaking communities. Like they did Dothar Perry. Like they sent Rachel Dolezal, whatever your dang name is, into the NAACP, Malcolm X said that if you want to learn about a people, you sit on the sidelines. You don't come in there trying to direct, right? So I wonder what she doing now, because she was a lie then, and she probably still a liar somewhere else too, trying to perpetrate in somebody else's inheritance. Because once a fraud, once you show us who you are, that's who you are. And you came in the public eye, nigga, or not. So anywho, I'm just saying, this is what kind of news we got to look at. The news that they want us to see, the schemes that they devise. Because I don't know why y'all took away the public telephones, because you was putting ear hustling devices in the late great Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. hotel when he was out and about getting ready to make a speech, and you was doing it to Malcolm X. You ain't have to take the telephone booths away. Now we all got cell phones that is easily manipulated. So there's no need that we should even have crimes that go on. You got cameras on light poles and stuff. Why is there still crime? Sometimes we don't know who did. We don't know who did it. Kind of like with John Benet Ramsey. We just gonna sit up here and talk to John and Patsy, and we ain't gonna go all through the house like you're supposed to and see that her body was down there. And then you have a little suitcase. So, the perpetrator could have climbed out the window on the suitcase. Man, how many of us know if you stand on the suitcase that it's gonna bust wide open? I mean, that's just 1, 2, 3 common sensey. But no, they put that on public TV. They think that the perpetrator stood up on the suitcase and climbed out the window. And really and truthfully, if they tall enough, they ain't even need the suitcase. That's what don't make no dang sense. But because everybody, like in Cocoa Police Department and probably the Sheriff's Department too, where I come from in Florida, got a cut off my son being defrauded out of his life because you lied to him and you thought y'all was going to sacrifice me, get rid of the mother, because when she find out, she is going to tell. And so it is, because God said, no, you don't come into my house, uproot my children, get them involved in your schemes. That mother figure was old enough to know better, but she decided to get involved with your schemes because she's somehow in the Eastern Stars or some kind of group, whether it's church, she in some kind of group. You don't come in my house and take my children and then mishandle them and have their life be uprooted and think yours is going to be living glorious. God is my refuge, my salvation, and he coming for you. Now, like I said, with Bill Cosby, was them ladies grown or was they teenagers? And again, I'm not excusing nobody actions taking advantage of somebody, but we don't need to pay attention to all of that. Just go ahead and handle it in court like you're supposed to. But because the court system of my peers is probably not in there, and if they are in there, they probably some token house nigger that's scared to tell you the truth. No, this ain't right. Now I see this problem. Why y'all didn't look into this? Why Like, you know, why I don't know why people scared to speak up to you all that are human too. Sure, you have murdered people in the past, and some of them people that scared to talk about you have seen you do that. But the stupid thing about that is, if you've seen them do it once, they'll do it to you. So either you talk and speak up and stop them, or when your day comes, God's going to say, I told you to come out from them. You did it to your brother, and now it's your turn. Hello? Anywho, all this stupid stuff going on in the world. Want us to pay attention to all that baloney in Congress and stuff. Go ahead and redact them laws, because them laws is not for everybody, obviously. Because I don't believe that a president should be allowed to pardon. Well, I ain't gonna say that, because some people do need to be pardoned because they ain't supposed to be there. It's some of y'all that's supposed to be there. But when you dealing with finances, like somebody put my name on the FBI watch list. I don't know why, because I ain't never been arrested and I don't do anything to be arrested. But if you want to watch me, I hope you're watching for a good damn reason, and I hope you see everybody that's trying to harm me. Yeah, the people who went to jail and the president pardoned that did financial crimes, I think they should be on the FBI watch list, like you put chemists that some of y'all got on y'all list, on y'all work thing, trying to harm me in places that I go. That's why you sitting up here watching me all day saying, dang, how can we get her? How can we poison her? You've been doing that too. But you want to act like you dignified when you know that ain't the truth. You act just like your forefathers that held my ancestors captive with your abusive ways, such as this. If we have a court system, then where is my justice? Why do I have to go through all of this when Casey Anthony set up there? Y'all don't have no other murder suspects. Anywho, and then anybody else, you'll be grilling them. From the crown of their head to the soles of their feet, you'll be grilling them, and you'll make it happen. Like you was trying to in John Bonet, that one of them people was trying to make a situation, make a lie become a truth, when the truth is one of those people in that house harmed that little girl. That night. Casey say, John Bonet say, molestation was going on in that house with that little girl. But no, Boulder Police Department, they don't want to look at that. You don't want to look at the true facts of a case, and you didn't even handle it right. But let somebody like me, man, you'll be all up in our business like you all up in mine, trying to fabricate something, cloning my phone, having people follow me, trying to set me up with people's children because you say I was a pedophile. That's y'all who are pedophiles. That's not me. I'm not a criminal, but I will speak to the face of criminals and tell you you're a liar. You're a felon. Because your forefathers were felons. And I'm talking to all ethnicities who didn't get it right this time. When you see something wrong, you say something. Now that I'm saying something, you don't like it because you are in those documentations, or you're in this situation. You know, like you tried to redact Epstein. Oh, we can't show that. Black it out. Black it out. Because y'all know black. You won't ever see it again if you black out everything. And that's what y'all trying to do with my situation, but it's not going on. No. And for the life of me, trying to insert other people in inheritance and trust funds and stuff like that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one asking about what happened to their loved one, unless people like my family member, they say, well, so and so, you know, they died from C-19, so let's go ahead and get their assets. Because some family members probably wanted somebody to DIE so they can get their assets, because y'all greedy and selfish like that. But for the most part, there are some people that are unaccounted for, and they things that some of them people was working. So anyway, all I'm saying is a careful eye shows that help people become better. They do away with, but they'll put how to get away with murder. They'll sell a book, 48 Laws of Power, and let that be out. But a chemist, they'll sell things like how to make a GUN out of I forget what you call it, but it's like you can buy material to make a GUN that only give you one shot, but you can't say certain words on YouTube, but you can sell something that can harm somebody. How to get away with murder with an undisclosed GUN. So who is perpetrating fraud and who is perpetuating murder, stealing, rivalry? Who is perpetuating that? Who is allowing it to continue to go on? Come vote for us. Y'all can't get it right in the vote, and somebody's stealing votes. Man, somebody need to get them laws right. Or, I think back in the day, people was governing themselves. It wasn't all this hoopla. But it's gotten too far out of hand. There's no way we can do that now, because you got drug addicts, you got drug dealers, you got people with mental problems because of all of this hoopla that a government, like a machine. That movie 13 goes, a machine just going around hoping you don't fall into the spikes of the machine and get crushed. That's what it's like living here in the United States around people that don't care anything about certain people. Or should I say, they don't care anything about humanity at this point. Anyway, to God be the glory.